Hello everybody and welcome to a gameplay update. This is for patch 6.85. My name is SUNSfan. I am not joined by Cinder because he is a terrible, terrible person, but in fact, he will be replaced by the great AUI 2000. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, you good?
Are you excited, bro?
I am excited. We've been on 6.84 for a while, so it was sort of due time for a patch.
Indeed. Alright, so what we're going to do, for those that haven't watched these before, this in all likelihood is going to be longer than the normal video you're used to, but all in all, this, and correct me if I'm wrong, this patch seems more like a number tweaking one as opposed to crazy ass stuff like we saw in 8.4. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much correct. I think what they're doing is they're doing a slight balance change so that the next few tournaments aren't just the exact same as TI. And then after maybe, I don't know if it'll be probably before the next major, I'm saying there's going to be like a giant change where maybe they'll introduce Pit Lord and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, that would be great. Of course, he would be called Abyssal Underlord. Well, you guys did pick it in the elimination mode tournament,
We
but
did.
didn't go too well.
He did
Turned
not
into
win us the game.
Brewmaster somehow. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Yeah. If we had Pit Lord, we would have won.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Do
there's
you
that.
actually like that hero?
Um, I think they're reworking him.
Again?
And
Jesus.
well, I don't know what his last form was, but he's not the same hero I played in Dota 1 for sure.
Yeah, that's the same for me. They changed, like, they added like some passive where he gains damage but creeps getting killed and stuff like that. But so I'm pretty much have heard the exact same things as you. The fact that this is just like a balance type thing, and they're not going to come out with any crazy stuff as far as like changing the game until after this major. But as far as Pit Lord, that could still come. Obviously, he wouldn't be in captain's mode or anything like that, so that could come
Sure.
before the next major. Okay, let's get started. All right, so for general, we have Purge no longer deals bonus damage to summon units. Why is this so significant? This is like one of those old mechanics from Dota 1.
It's significant, I think, really for two things, like Warlock Golem and Necrobook.
Hmm.
So it's a decent buff to Necrobook, especially with. I mean, should I talk about like how Purge has changed itself? Because
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
fine.
like it has no cooldown now. So if
This is
it's
from
still dealt,
Diffusal itself.
yes, if it's still dealt bonus damage to summon units, then you could just instantly kill any amount of Necrobooks and the item would be useless, completely countered every team fight.
Right.
So that's sort of necessary. So that's it's also from like neutral purge and like I don't even know what other purges there are now, like Oracle purge and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts. I don't know how that hero works.
Well, it technically is a purge, yeah. So that would work. So the way that I remember it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Diffusal Blade on the golems, I don't believe, I could be wrong on this. I don't think it did damage. It just killed them, right?
Correct.
Like even if they had a
Well,
million health.
it did 99999 damage in
Yeah.
Dota
So
1. I don't know how it
technically,
works in Dota 2.
so technically, this purge no longer deals bonus damage to summon units. Doesn't really apply until we see the changes for Warlock Golem, right? Technically.
I think you can just pretty much assume that purge no longer kills any summons
Yeah.
at all.
All right, this next one is kind of weird. So siege creeps now behave like normal lane creeps for spell targeting rules, and they now have 80% magic resistance. What do you think?
Um, Before only like spells like DK's Fire Breath hit it, and it was sort of annoying for pushing waves. I actually don't know how I feel about this, just because how pushing base works a lot of times when you're defending is that you try to spam out the wave, and sometimes if they have really good spam, the only thing that's alive is your siege creep.
Hmm.
So they're hitting your base with only siege creeps, and I think that's good because you can't just continually spam out waves forever if you have like a storm or something. This sort of makes that a lot worse because the siege creep can die, but again, it's like 80% magic resist, 500 HP, pretty
So
tanky still.
going uphill sounds like it would be even more difficult. I mean, there have been some troubles in the past with that, right? And I don't
This
know if
should
this patch is significant or not.
theoretically make it harder to go uphill just because of this, but I don't know how much of a actual impact that will make because the siege creep is still relatively tanky.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, maybe this will help for sieging. The Ancient Thunderhide now has a new ability. It's a War Drums aura, so it provides 15 attack speed, 15% extra damage. So it's kind of like drums, but instead of movement speed, it ends up being attack damage. Also, the Ancient Black Drake. That's the one that looks like the seal slash walrus slash goofy character. Now has
And
a
a cute.
plus. It is actually. That's true. It is super cute. +2 armor, and it's stackable, which is interesting. And just to compensate the ancient dragon camp themselves, like the smaller ones have 2 less armor. Uh, this, I guess we can wait for the life stealer stuff because that'll come a little bit later. I did read up beforehand, but does this actually change anything? I mean, Chen can take over these creeps.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to do the ancient stacks because they do more damage and they have more armor.
Hmm.
Even TA who does like pure damage to side blades, it depends on the armor of the first target you hit. So if you have like 5 dragon camps in there somehow, theoretically, like you're going to be doing that camp 60%
Right. Okay.
or whatever it is, like 50% slower.
Interesting. Do you
So it does
remember?
hurt ancients.
Do you remember the evasion camp in the
Yeah,
ancients?
and there's also those like green I don't know what they were.
What
They're
did they
the
do?
green like three thing. They just hit you really hard. They didn't have evasion or anything.
I don't remember those.
They were wildebeest. I don't know.
Is there any? I don't know if you've heard anything.
There are
Why have
two
they not
ancient
put them
camps
in?
on there. From what I've heard, it's basically just they didn't think there was any use to them. Like ancients were fine how they were.
So now they're adding all these ancient, like they're making sure all the ancients have some sort of abilities that if they get taken over by a Chen, and as we'll read later, a
Yeah,
life
it's
stealer, it's useful,
interesting.
right? So
Yeah, so
what do you
maybe they'll
think?
add in those
Yeah,
later.
exactly. Like what if you add the evasion one and it gives like a small percentage of evasion as an aura? Do you think that's too imba?
No, I think that'd be okay. I think evasion is becoming a bit more widespread in the game just due to Solar Crest.
Yeah.
So dealing with it will be more manageable.
All right. And the last thing for general updates, fix the following passive abilities not being able to disable by break. You guys can read those. I actually was not aware. Like, I feel like it's quite arbitrary, the things that are broken, as they would say, with, what's Shadow Blade upgraded called? Silver Edge?
Yeah.
Do you know if there's
Um,
any other abilities that you can't get rid of now? Is
no,
this
I
just
think
rounding it
it's
out?
pretty much every passive now.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. I don't.
I'm sure there's a long
It's
ass
usually not
list
that
somewhere.
crucial. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now to the cool stuff. Heroes. And again, this is not as crazy as the last patch, so don't expect anything too crazy, although there are a couple really cool ones. We will start with Abaddon. Miscoil reduced by 0.5 seconds. My goodness. And the Aghanim Scepter for borrowed time, which you never see, redirects 50% damage instead of 35. Theoretically, it sounds like Aghanims would be great. I don't know how you'd farm it on Abaddon, though.
You can do offlane Abaddon. That was a
Ooh.
thing for a bit.
I wouldn't mind.
50% for 35 is actually a big difference. Like that's 50% better in terms of skill itself.
Now, would you get
But
an Ags first?
on offlane, I don't know. I still don't think it's that good. Like you compare to something like Centaur that gives you max move speed and like 70% reduction, and the skill just looks so mediocre.
That's true. You don't have to tell me twice about Centaur, bro. Best hero EU, no doubt. Not. You guys need to start picking it. I told Sam.
Centaur.
Yeah, great hero.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we do.
Bulba needs to be convinced. I will be talking in his ear
It
as
would be
time goes
his
on.
hero, and if people want to play a hero, they will get it.
Really? Is that how it works? Okay.
I think that's how it should work.
Okay, that's good. All right. So this one I want to talk about Alchemist. This is a weird one. So acid spray, not the changes, but acid spray damage has been increased slightly. Grievel's greed for bounty rune has been increased from 4 to 5. I feel like this hero is just trash tier right now. He's very cheesy. Like at least in pubs, you just go for the Aghanim Scepter thing. That was a cool thing like for the first couple weeks, and now it's just garbage. You don't see it at all. Do you think that these changes make any difference as far as this hero is concerned for competitive play?
The changes sort of weird because acid spray needed the damage increase because they changed the damage types and there's no more mixed, so it ended up doing a lot less to neutrals. However, the reason why you need acid spray damage is so that you can do ancient stacks. But ancients have more armor now, so alchemists can't do them as fast even with the damage buff.
That's true.
So I don't think acid spray actually helps him that much. The bounty rune is like I don't know. I was playing alchemist the other day. And I got like 800 gold from a bounty rune. So it wasn't 800. It was
Wait,
like 500. But
yeah, 500 at the start, right?
no,
So,
no, like mid game.
oh,
Or it was late
what?
game. It was like 60 minutes in. I was getting like
Okay. Yeah, if
so
you're
I
gonna
was
have a
just
long
buying
ass game like
Aghanims and I
that.
was just buying everything for everyone. But I don't think it actually has any real impact on when you would pick the hero.
The day that this hero becomes viable, as far as like buying Aghanims for people, will be the day that this game becomes even more amazing. I think that's like the coolest idea. Just doesn't seem
Yeah.
too feasible. 500 gold at the start of the game.
The hero's not that bad, I think. Like
What
I
role
think
does he
people will pick
play?
him carry or well mid. But I
Mid.
think some people
Okay.
end up picking carry because Vici still picked him for mid. And like
Really?
they have some push strat, and then you're trying to push, and there's the acid spray on the ground. You're like, acid spray, haha. You can't push.
Is this the new sniper? Ha 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 ha. Just The algae.
It's like the same effect, except he doesn't hit you from 1,000 range. The sniper
Yeah,
with melee range.
all right, all right. I would love to see this hero more. Wait, when did Vici pick it then? How long ago was this?
Um, don't didn't they picked it versus Cloud9 at it was either TI or one of like ESL Summit or something. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know.
So not that long ago. Interesting. I
I
did
just
not know
remember
that.
Envy going to me as like, we can't push Alchemist, haha, acid spray, haha, you know. I think it was Summit. I'm not sure.
That's hilarious. All right. So do you think these changes make any difference though for this hero compared to
How
last patch?
particularly it was in conjunction with the ancient change. He's stronger,
Yeah.
but not like I wouldn't look at these changes and go, wow, I'm picking Alchemist every game.
Okay. All right. Ancient Apparition. Cold Feet cast range has been increased to be scaling up to 1,000. That means you actually have to level it and you get some benefit out of it. Does this make any difference for him?
I don't think I take that skill anyways.
Yeah. Is
So
that something you just skip entirely still, or is it a value point? I mean, the
first
stun
skill point
duration
does
level 1's
150.
garbage, right?
Yeah, but it's 150 damage,
Yeah.
and like it's really hard to land. I mean, maybe on core AA, but the cast range still probably doesn't matter. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't think this matters.
All right. Now this hero, I was expecting bigger nerfs personally. Maybe you can tell me if these are bigger than I think they are. But Blink for Anti-Mage has been rescaled to start lower and ends up being the same at level 4. And Mana Void stun has been rescaled to be a static 0.15, which is in between what level 1 and 2 was. I don't see how that changes anything, the second one especially.
It's not a big nerf. I think one of the ideas with Anti-Mage is that one of the reasons he's really good right now is because people are picking stuff like Storm, Leshrac, Lean, stuff like that.
Mm.
So like he's good because of the other heroes, and I don't think Ice Frog is sure of whether he's good just because it's a hero being strong. I think the hero's pretty strong though.
That's actually a good point. I guess we'll get
Probably,
to those heroes as we
yeah.
go down this list. So we'll see if. I mean, that's another thing to keep in mind. A lot of these patches, it may not seem like much was changed for even a hero that's untouched. Perhaps becomes completely overpowered because the heroes that were its counter got nerfed heavily.
Yeah,
So
I can think of a couple of those for this patch.
all right.
So
Bane Elemental. Enfeeble cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. Brain Sap mana cost has been reduced, which is a huge deal for level 1. That's 30 less. And fixed Fiend's Grip, not granting True Sight over the target, which I didn't know that was a bug.
yeah, actually, so it detects invis. I did not know that.
Well, it's if you grip them and they go invis. I thought it was always that way, that it would see them.
Yeah,
'Cause it'll keep
it's saying it
gripping,
should have been, but I didn't know that.
Okay. I knew something you didn't? What is this?
You are the best.
I know. So these changes make any difference?
Uh, Brain Tap level 1 mana actually matters a lot because it's like the best man fighting skill. One of the best, probably the best out there for Bane.
Mm.
Or like amongst most heroes, and 70 mana is really, really cheap. Like you're getting 3 or 4 off your base mana pool.
All right. All right, this one's pretty cool. Bat Rider. This is one of the quote-unquote cool ones that would be equivalent to something that was patched in 8.4. Flame Break, not this specific one, but Flame Break damage over time has been reduced from 50 to, well, it ends up going to 40 at level 4, so it's technically a nerf there, but the damage duration has been increased by 2 seconds at level 1. 2 seconds across the board, in fact. And then the really cool update, they add Aghanim Scepter, where Flaming Lasso will grab its target as well as the target's nearest allied hero as long as it's within 400 range. What are your thoughts on... So let me give you my thoughts and you tell me where I'm wrong. So a lot of times they come out with Aghanim Scepters for heroes and people are like, oh, it's so cool, but in the end it's not really viable. Like Weaver, Aghanim Scepter, I think it's just trash tier. Because
Yeah, that thing's so good.
you actually
But
think...
you just yo, it's really good in pubs I play because
okay.
I'm trying to kill someone and then there's this stupid Weaver that I shut down in the offlane. Like I'm playing support in solo queue, right?
Yeah.
So my entire game is dedicated to making this Weaver level 1 at 10 minutes. And then he rushes to Aghanim Scepter and they have one 7k player and he just saves that 7k player and I can't win.
Okay. Well, I
no,
guess
it's not
in
very good.
specific scenarios, like I feel like for the Weaver itself, it's not useful because you can't just click R real quick and do a quick time
Yeah.
lapse. You have to click it twice for yourself. It just changes that. Anywho, my point is, a lot of times Aghanim Scepter is kind of overblown. This one is actually viable because Bat Rider is a hero that can potentially pick this up. Because a lot of times you see so many luxury items after Blink and Force Staff. I mean, you see like Yules, you see Mask of Madness is, I feel like those can be replaced by an Aghanims and could be
Sure.
completely game breaking. What are your thoughts?
Like it seems good. If Lasso does 100 damage per second, that's actually quite a
Oh yeah,
bit.
I forgot to mention that. That's true.
Yeah, and like you have to realize like when Bat Riders go in, they blink sticky lasso. So then you're dealing like 125 damage per second for like 4 ticks. So Lasso dealing 500 damage. Like 500 damage from eggs is quite a bit. If you even if you compare it to like Lena eggs out
Hmm.
upgrade,
Would you
that's a
say
lot of
even if you
damage.
can't guarantee the second target to be lassoed, that it would still be worth the
Um,
pickup just for the
I think
damage?
it's not bad because Bat Rider, like a tanky Bat Rider, is good anyways. Like eggs fits the hero. Like you were mentioning Weaver. Like I don't want to build an eggs on Weaver because I want right click. But Bat Rider doesn't need that. He just wants to be tanky and the mana helps and everything's nice on him.
Yeah.
So like I would go Blink Force off eggs. Maybe BKB if I needed it.
So
Not that bad on
what's
him.
the reason this hero's fallen off? Because it was it the changes to like half
Um
damage to neutrals?
yeah, his jungle's really bad now, just because Firefly's 10 damage at level 1. Also, I think a lot of the cores, like Eos Scepter being really strong, sort of nerfed him because Eos is a counter him. When he blinks in, you just Eos him.
Hmm.
It's instant, long range. You can't get last off, or even if you do get off, you're standing there and every core be Eos. Uh, his laning wasn't that good, but this Flame Break buff is actually pretty huge because like you can take at level 4 you just have one in Flame Break and then you sticky them a few times and you Flame Break them and you're doing 3 instances of damage. So your Flame Break actually can end up doing like 350 damage, for example.
Yeah. Do you think this is enough to bring that hero back
I'm
from the
not sure.
dead?
It depends. Like you have to have it in conjunction with other heroes that Batrider is good against getting buff, like Nature's Prophet maybe, because like Nature's Prophet got a buff and Batrider's a Nature's Prophet counter, so maybe that'll like that alone can make him go back in the meta. People start picking Nature's Prophet.
Okay. Well, speaking of a hero that everybody loves to hate on, he's picked all the time, Bloodseeker. So, Thirst scaling has been changed from 100 to 25 to 75 to 25, and Blood Rage Heal reduced from 25 to a scaling up to 25, starting at 19. I was expecting. I mean, how big of a nerf is the Thirst, actually? That's my first question.
The Thirst is like when he first came out in this change, and when it got changed from 100 to 25, from 75 to 25, he instantly became imbobs. So before that, he wasn't even that strong. Like
Hmm.
that change is huge. If you're looking at like insignificance, like it's like you're getting a third less damage and movement
Yeah,
in
okay.
general, unless they're like below 25%. But that they're dead because your blood.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty big.
All right.
The
Uh,
heal matters in lane too. People don't max that skill.
the Blood Rage Heal? Yeah.
Yeah,
So 4%. How big of a difference is that? Or 6%, sorry.
it's pretty big. I mean, like when we look at numbers like that, I don't think we should say like 6% because like you're going for 25 to 19, so it's more like a 25% nerf to the skill rather than just saying 6%.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So like it's a 25% nerf at level 1, which is pretty big.
All right, this hero I can't stand, and I'm pretty sure you can't stand him either. Bounty Hunter, probably the most cancerous heroes to play against. Track now provides vision only of the target rather than the area around it, which is a pretty big nerf. And the allied bonus gold for Track has been reduced by 30 at level 3. How does this make you feel, Curtis?
I mean, I like playing the hero.
How do you
I
like
hate
playing
him in
against
pubs
it?
though. In pubs, he is the most like I go mid. There's a bounty hunter and an earthshaker, and all they do is sit mid. Their safe lane's being destroyed, and they just sit on me mid.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I play with my like real life friends, because they just all aim at me. I'm on like some random name. They go hi 2000. I don't know how they know who I am, and then they 5-man gank me all game.
Man, I can only imagine how I have some of that going on with me. People target me, but it's at a lower MMR obviously, so I don't can only imagine how miserable that must be for you. But yeah, bounty is just. I mean, how do these
So
changes actually change the hero?
the
Like,
biggest thing is that it's really hard to get a second track off because right now you track someone and then their friend shows and you track them.
oh, that's a good. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's true.
Right? So it's actually a huge nerf. The second one I don't think matters that much. If you win a track gold fight, you're still winning the game.
Yeah.
And but the first one, like, so someone's tracked, you're like, okay, so you show mid and we'll just smoke right beside you as long as you're not in the smoke, and they have no idea. Or you're breaking before, like you're defending base and they have a bounty hunter. He tracks one person. Your defense is actually over. They have vision over all your heroes
Hmm.
during the day. Because how track used to work is it used to give the vision of the hero you tracked. So if you tracked a Night Stalker with eggs, you would get 1800 undisrupted night vision. Now you only see Night Stalker.
Yeah,
But
that
that's a
is
huge
insane.
nerf from Bounty Hunter versus like Night Stalker, Caudle. He might like those heroes just straight up counter him now. Before Bounty Hunter had like some weird thing going on with them where he sort of countered them because if you track them, it's huge vision, but they could spot him with a gem first and kill him. Now, like if Night Stalker has a gem, Bounty Hunter just he can't go anywhere.
Do you think? I know it's too early to tell. A lot of this stuff is just hypothetical, but does this make him not tier one?
I'm not sure. I think that if track doesn't give vision around the target, that his mid and late game has gotten so much worse, and he can be countered by heroes like Night Stalker. So I'm gonna say not tier one anymore.
Okay.
But I don't know. He's still super annoying in lane, and his early game's still the same.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how Ice Frog balances stuff, right? He leaves the
Sure.
the nitty gritty in there, but gets rid of some other side product.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that though. So
Yep. Brewmaster, Primal Split, Storm's Dispel, Magic Area of Effect, that's a long thing, increased by 400. That's the little Storm Panda's, uh, one of his couple of abilities. Also, the Magic cooldown reduced, or the Dispel Magic cooldown reduced by 2 seconds, and Boulder reduced by 2 seconds. So the main thing, really, other than the cooldown, is the area of effect for Storm's Dispel Magic. I feel like Omni Knight is never going to get picked, especially with this change if there's ever a Brewmaster. I mean, that's like 600 is pretty large.
sure.
Like if Omni gets off his ult, that's like half the team you could pretty easily get as long as they're grouped up.
600 is huge for AoEs. And it can take off a lot of stuff people don't really think about, like tree intel or like fin armor.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's pretty big, and like 6 second cooldown's really short, obviously.
I'd like to see a list of everything it takes off because it starts to get to a point where things start getting arbitrary again.
It does. Like Dota's less like there's weak purges, strong purges, and like
Is that
diffusal
is
purge or
that what they're
something. Like
called?
I don't know. That's what I think of them as. Like
All right.
there's different types of purges, and like you have a strong dispel or a weak dispel. Ridiculous.
Do
I
you
think
think
that
that's
one's supposed to be
the
a weak dispel.
Do you think that's
But
the least loved panda of the three?
no.
In
That's the
pubs, I'm
first
not
panda I
like
kill.
competitive,
Oh
of course. Yeah.
yeah, but that's the first panda I kill because like it's way more disrupted than a fire panda
Mm.
right now.
All right.
But it is the like maybe at like a pub, it's the one that requires the most micro, so people don't care about it.
Yeah, they just leave it. They just put
But
it in
that
vis and it just stands there.
yeah, but if you look at what that panda can do, like it's actually just insane. It's -1 enemy hero, and it does 100 damage piercing nuke plus its auto. So
I mean, we never see this hero other than when you pick Pit Lord. Do you think this actually makes a difference enough for this hero to get picked up again, or?
I mean the hero's not that bad. You can definitely it like the problem with the hero is that the mid heroes were too strong, so you can go mid against them. Like he has 2 armor instead of 4 like before, and like he goes mid and there's like Lashrak, Lina, Queen, like they all just right click him and kill him. So he can't get out of laning phase, and like he's not good off lane really. So he didn't have a place in laning. Uh, I don't think this patch nerfed those mid heroes enough that Panda can go mid versus them. So it's
Okay,
hard to lane him still.
fair enough. Bristleback. Bristleback passive cool spray damage threshold reduced by 20. Okay, whatever.
It helps. Though.
I mean, this
But
hero
yeah,
is rarely picked. He was picked a
I like
lot
the
like a few
hero.
months ago. Yeah, I do too.
I actually really like the hero. So
All right, now my favorite hero. So we're going to talk about this for probably like 30 minutes. Centaur Warrunner. Returns strength as bonus damage increased
all right, so we're
up
going
to
to Chaos Knight because there's
66.
no change there.
Yes, absolutely. Do you think this makes any difference for the hero? I mean, I think
Or
it's a
Centaur?
small, yeah, it's a small change, but
No.
it scales really well. If he gets farm, he's a beast. But I think
I
his
mean,
main issue is his
it's
laning phase, right?
yeah, it's like you can't dual lane him like other offlaners because he uses stun once and then he has 60 mana left,
Yeah.
and his stun costs 130. So, like, the reason I don't think this is that important is because it doesn't make return better than it was pre-patch, where it damaged before you took a hit.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you have to, the hit has to finish before return does damage now, and that's a really big nerf.
I completely
Farming and
forgot
hitting
about that.
towers and everything. So this
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't. I think I would take the other one at 50% rather than this one at 60.
Okay. I think the biggest nerf, like you said, though, was the mana cost
Yeah,
of
his mana pool is
of
just
Stomp.
abysmal, and you
Yeah.
can't do anything to it.
It's unfortunate. My big boy probably won't be seeing much more play, but one can hope.
Sure,
All
he's
right.
pickable, so of
I still think he's pickable, absolutely. But you guys
course
didn't
you
pick
do.
him in 4 games of elimination mode. Well, actually, no. The opposing team picked him. I had to slightly root for them for a moment.
Ooh,
Okay, CK. This is really cool, though. CK. Chaos Strike, which is his critical strike, now lowers the target's armor by 5 for 8 seconds whenever it crits. Now, the crit damage has been reduced a bit, but I think with the armor effect, that doesn't really matter. What are
yeah,
your
that doesn't
thoughts?
matter at
This is
all.
pretty
The crit
cool.
damage reducing
And it
is
works for
very good.
illusions, too.
Yeah. And it doesn't stack, of course, but no, that's really strong. 5 armor is a lot in terms of like Roshan and farming. Something I like to do before is like when I play Chaos Knight, I just get an ancient stack and I ulti and I go with my ult.
Really?
Um, yeah, this would be really good for it, except they made ancients harder to kill,
Yeah.
so fortunate. But I think Chaos Knight has a lot of untapped potential. The hero's pretty strong. If you can get to like there, I don't think there's many heroes that can handle a 6 slotted Chaos Knight, if any. Like if you get up like Manta, Heart, Skady, Armlet, like you have like 6 Chaos Knights running at you with 5k HP.
Yeah, he's pretty
What
scary.
do you even do?
Well, what do you think about him? What do you think about the Slasher's Way, where he just roams as CK?
Sure, it's terrible.
It's it seems to be working every time I play against it, but it's probably just because of me.
Sasha has some good ideas for some heroes. I don't think that one's
You
one
like
of
him
them.
as Enchantress, I'm guessing, right?
No, I like my friend did Enchantress like before that, and like the items for Slasher's Way weren't very good.
Okay.
So the Dolphin Enchantress is definitely good though.
All right, Chen. Penitence, slow/damage amplification increased slightly. The Test of Faith for damage mana cost reduced quite a bit, actually. And the Test of Faith cooldown reduced by 8 seconds. We don't really see Chen very as often as we used to.
No, you get 4 creeps, and then their last track presses R, or the Luna presses Q, and all your
Man,
creeps are dead.
Leshrac getting a lot of love. Well, we'll get to him soon enough, don't worry.
This buff helps for Chen. It's nothing game breaking, but the Test of Faith damage in particular is a big change for him.
He also gets
Uh,
extra things to take from the Ancient, right? He gets +2 armor, he gets a little
Sure.
war, whatever the hell it was called.
Oh
15
yeah, that
attack
50% damage, and that's actually a lot.
Do you know
Like
if that stacks with the wolf? The what?
I'm assuming it
Wolf
does, because
commander?
Vlad's in Wolf stack,
Okay.
Venge in Wolf stack, so like
Man, you can
quite
go
good.
hardcore aura strats. Luna,
Sure.
Venge, all Chen.
Luna, Venge, Drow mid,
That's pretty legit.
Chen. Ooh.
I'd like to see that. All right.
Yeah, so if
Clinks.
you're Chen, wait,
Oh,
if you're
yep.
Chen, you can give your team 60% with Vlad's Ancient Creep and Wolf.
That's insane.
That's actually so much. So yeah,
60%
anyways.
base damage increase. That's pretty. I mean, you have a tiny on the team
Yeah.
because that's all base damage he gets from
180
Bro.
base, 180 extra damage.
That's sick. Okay, Clink strafe reduced a bit. All right, it's great. Don't think there's that much to talk about. The hero gets picked every now and then, so it's still pretty
Well,
viable.
since we're on Clinks, we should just mention the HOTD one now, I think.
Oh, sure. I won't
Like,
scroll down, but you can say it.
Okay, HOTD, minimum creep HP 1400. If you're rolling a troll, it'll still be 1600, etc. I was actually hoping for an eggs upgrade for Clink so we could just take Ancient. That would have been funny.
That
But
would be hilarious, yeah.
no, the HOTD matters because you can just take over a lane creep and then consume it, and you'll have extra 500 HP on it compared to
How did it
like
work
400.
before with HOD?
Before it just get plus 500.
Okay.
So now it's plus 500 or 1400, whichever one's higher.
Do people actually pick up Helm of the Dominator to do that?
It's pretty good, honestly.
I think they would definitely do it now if they did it before.
Sure.
That's
Like,
insane.
Helm is a good item. I don't know, like 5 armor, and you can go like Helm Solar Crest or Helm just Medallion, and you're pretty tanky and stuff.
Yeah.
Still hit really hard.
All right. I'd like to see that. That's pretty sick. Just
I
keep
think
that creep
when-
around and then just eat it right before you get into a fight.
Yeah, I think I like DAC when Fear was playing Clinks a lot. He would go Helm, or like, and then Dazzle got buff. So
Yeah. All right. Crystal Maiden. The Crystal Nova cooldown reduced by 2. I'm gonna just keep moving on unless you have something to say. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, this hero keeps getting. Usually it's Freezing Field that gets buffed, but now we have a different
that
buff.
skill's already insane.
Yeah. Ice Frog just wants people to pay attention to her. You can't just sit there with your ult channeling for. What is it?
Yeah.
12 seconds? How long is it again?
I think it's 10 seconds
It's
on 9-second
insane.
cooldown.
Yeah,
But
it's
like,
ridiculous.
I think how Ice Frog feels is sometimes he like does these little nothing changes to heroes, and then people start picking them all of a sudden because they like notice a hero.
Yeah. They're just waiting for it to get super OP, then they start picking them. Although Crystal Maiden, I wouldn't put in that category, obviously.
No, my favorite matchup in pubs is I go mid with Crystal Maiden versus TAs, and I always win that matchup.
Does Frostbite take off Refraction right away?
Yeah, it's 3 ticks at level 1,
Okay.
and when you're level 7, it does 6 ticks, and it's 3 seconds duration, 6-second cooldown. So you always get the second one off, and you just kill her.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here
one.
first. If you ever have a TA who's, by the way, I want to talk about TA at some point because she was not changed at all, and I think she
the
might
TA
be
has
the
to be
best
like
hero.
sub 5k, and you have to be like 7k, and then,
Okay.
and then you can win the matchup.
So if you have a lopsided mid MMR action going on, then absolutely that's a great counter. All right, good to know. Darkseer, who's played a lot. Only one thing changed: base intelligence reduced by 2, which I assume is only the big deal in like the laning stage. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, it sort of matters all game. Like, 2-int doesn't seem like a lot, but
How much
I've
is
seen
2-int
Darkseer's
exactly?
26 mana
20,
and
okay.
0.08 mana. So, like, I've seen a lot of Darkseers just barely not have enough mana for spells, or barely have enough for mech, because that hero has 4 spells that cost mana and goes mech. So it's sort of small, but it's not. Can't just ignore it.
I guess that's a good point. I mean,
I would still pick Darkseer when it's a good Darkseer game, though.
yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Dazzle. Poison Touch mana cost reduced to a static 100. One of the... Okay, I'm going to say this, and you might disagree because I know you guys pick Dazzle a lot. This has got to be one of the worst skills in the game, Poison Touch.
Yeah.
You agree? Oh, wow. Look at that. Does this change
I
anything?
skip it.
Yeah.
I don't even get level 1 if I don't have to.
I mean, ever since they changed it so it doesn't stun right away for TPs, it's just like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the hero's still freaking good, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Of course.
You could delete this skill
He's
and the
better
hero would
mid
still
now.
be played, right?
Yeah, he's better mid now, though. So
Okay.
I saw Weeha or Miracle or someone. I think it was Miracle. Had, like, Lothar's Orchid mid, and he was just going ham in the pub.
I missed the Dazzle. I mean, Witch Doctor mid, Dazzle mid, and Lich mid are the three I missed.
Dazzle mid's legit.
Yeah, it's
Like, in lane. Just like Crystal Maiden. Legit in lane mid. But after that, you've got some issues.
no, you just get Deso, and you can scale with Dazzle, right? Minus armor is always a good thing to have.
Sure.
All right, Death Prophet. Exorcism spirits increased by 2 at level 1, same at level 3, and that's not taking into account Witchcraft, which adds I can't remember how many, but
Should be like 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah. Do you think? I mean, level 1 Exorcism seems like just a pile at the moment. So this obviously helps, but how much does it help?
It seems like a what?
A pile of garbage.
Oh.
The 6 spirits was
level
just
1
useless.
Exorcism is good, but
Really?
like yeah, it's good. It's just I mean, it's a lot of damage right now. Like 8 spirits plus 3, or usually plus 4 if you have level 2 thing. Like I take it at 6, and I pressure their tower.
So you go Witchcraft max second? You just don't get silence?
I don't take silence.
Okay.
So
All right. Are we gonna see Death Prophet? We never see this chick.
I don't know. Boba, when we were at TI, Boba was on some Death Prophet shit, but I don't think the hero's good.
What do you mean?
Like, basically the idea is like you get an Octarine core, and she's like
Oh, well,
Death
yeah.
Prophet at TI4,
Okay.
except you had to spend 6k gold.
That is
So-
probably one of the best Octarine heroes by far, though.
He is by far one of the best. Like your
Lesh
spirits
and
heal
Death
you.
Prophet, yeah.
Yeah, Leshrakt's just the best hero, so.
Well, I don't know about. Okay, we'll get to him. Don't worry.
Okay, we'll
Keep
get to him.
mentioning-
I'm just,
a sign of things to come here.
yeah, I'm, but how do you say it? Like, I'm living in the moment, or like, I'm so happy about Leshract that I need to keep
I can
repeating
tell.
how he was
Yeah,
so
that's
imba,
fine.
so he
By
goes
all
away.
means. By all means. All right, Disruptor Thunderstrike cooldown reduced to 9 at level 4. It scales down from 12. And Thunderstrike now only provides vision over the target itself. So similar to the bounty track thing. And I feel like Thunderstrike is kind of a forgotten skill of Disruptor. And the hero itself hasn't really played that much.
Yeah, he's a good hero for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
Glimpse is ridiculous.
yeah,
I
and
think it's like top 10 single target skills in the game is Glimpse for sure.
sure. And in some strats, it's really strong. And his ulti is obviously crazy. Problem being, like, once they get BKBs and stuff, they just run at you. If you're behind, it's really hard to play the hero. He's better mid now, lower cooldown. I don't think I would run Disruptor mid still. Who knows? mobile hero. Maybe we'll offlane him.
Yeah, that would be fun to see. Yeah, I miss
I,
his disruptor mid. That's true. I forgot about that.
I rarely see Thunderstrike vision in the AoE provide like vision for the next glimpse or something.
Yeah. Wait,
But theoretically,
doesn't it provide it when it ticks and then it disappears for a bit and then it ticks again? Is that how it works? Or is it a constant vision while it's on you? Like before
I
this
think it's a
patch?
constant vision,
Okay.
like just from the thundercloud
All right.
above them. But the only time I see it being used like that is like if you thunder strike someone and then someone TP's in behind the tower and then you glimpse them because you have vision.
Right.
So it's not negligible, but I don't think it matters.
Okay. Doom. We almost never see other than the game yesterday that I was watching. Scorched Earth damage slash heal increased, basically to scale better, up to 48 versus 30 from before. Level death cooldown reduced by 1 second. I don't know. This hero, I mean, technically speaking, it counters everybody in the game, but it's almost never picked.
I mean, if you guys still hate Bloodseeker, pick a Doom and get an Eggs. Just Doom him every fight. Because
Ags
he's one of the
refresher.
heroes.
My God.
No, like he's one of the heroes that you can always doom because he's melee and running in. And then like when Bloodseeker gets doomed, he loses move speed and he just stands there. No damage, no move speed.
That's
Dead.
true. Yeah.
That one's really fun. 48 on Scorched Earth is actually a lot.
How long does Scorched Earth last? It's like 8
I
seconds?
think it's 8, 10, 12, 14, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that is a lot of regen.
Like that's a ton because people have to realize that heal is like 33% better than damage because you have 25% innate resistance.
Mm.
So it's like whatever plus 33% of 48 is per second.
Do you think
Like
Doom...
it's like equivalent of doing 64 damage a second.
Is Doom a good hero against TA? Scorched
Sure,
Earth
yeah.
takes off refraction.
Definitely good
Doom
versus
obviously
TA.
just destroys everybody. Okay, maybe we'll see some Doom since TA wasn't touched. It'll be interesting to see. All right, Dragon Knight. I was a little bit disappointed with this being the only change. Breathe Fire, debuff duration increased by 3. I mean, that's nice. Well, first, you tell me about this, and I'll tell you why I'm disappointed.
The debuff is really good, but like everything takes it off. So I don't know. Like by everything I mean like BKB, meta, whatever.
All right, so hear me out here. I brought this up last time as well. This was not my idea, but I liked it, so I'm taking it. Aghanim Scepter for Dragon Knight. Tell me if you think this is viable. You get Aghanim Scepter on Dragon Knight, you stay in dragon form forever.
That's all.
Well, that's the base. I don't think it's good. People are saying it's OP. I don't think that's good enough.
Oh,
So
that's really bad.
maybe add something on top of that,
Yeah,
like
you
an
would need
extra
to add
skill
something.
or something. Okay, so as long as you don't think that's OP, then we're good.
I mean, you got Octarine Core on Dragon Knight. You stay in Dragon form all the time.
That's true. Wait, is it actually like 100% uptime?
No, it's almost. I think it's a 60-second duration, 105 cooldown or something. I don't know what the cooldown is.
It's
Over my
25%
head.
reduction though, right?
Yeah, so it go to like 20-second downtime.
Okay.
On
Well,
Alchemist,
that's
it's like 7-second downtime or something.
Oh.
Ooh.
Alchemist, Octarine.
It's actually
interesting.
it's actually quite good on Alchemist. Octarine Core, like
Mhm.
it's the sixth item because it lowers the bash cooldown on your Abyssal, so you can perma bash people.
Right. Well, the thing I don't like about Dragon Knight in the current state is like if he gets killed while in dragon form, buying back, you're just a useless piece of garbage. It's like
Yeah,
dying
same
on
for
Lycan.
Aegis.
What's that? Yeah.
Same for Aegis,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he's every good siege hero needs to be able to use Aegis right now, because like they kill you the first time with all their skills, but like you can't go back in dragon form, so your Aegis dies and then you can't siege anymore.
So Aghanim Scepter, where he just stays in dragon form, is not good enough. What happens if you just like his ultimate just by default he stays in dragon form? Is that OP? Too OP?
I don't think he needs that buff. Dragon Knight is not a bad hero right now.
He's okay. He could be
I
better.
think he's quite good, to be honest. I think he's underutilized right now, how the
That's
meta
for
is.
sure. Yeah.
But that's also because similar to Panda, you go mid and then ha ha ho ho Leshrac or ha ha ho Lina or how like you can't lane
Yeah,
versus these
you
heroes
kind of
properly.
just rely on bottle crowing and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I mean the Breed Fire matters a lot for laning, I guess. Like you can pretty much permanently keep it on them and outlast hit people.
Mhm.
That's actually pretty big. I'm about it more.
Now it's pretty big. Okay. Hopefully we'll
Well,
see
it
more
was big
Dragon Knight.
before, but like it's even bigger now, I guess. I have no idea.
All right.
I'm not a mid player.
Drow Ranger, precision aura bonus damage increased by 2. Not much of a
Two.
change there. and precision aura cooldown decreased by 20. That's the one where you click it and the creeps get it, right?
Correct.
All right, is this that big of a deal?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. Earthshaker, who is played almost every single game. Fissure damage reduced by 15 at level 1 and, well, actually throughout.
Yeah,
Why?
same hero.
Yeah, why? What? This is so random. It's so arbitrary.
Um, I mean, I guess it just like 15 damage isn't enough that I would say like, oh, now you have to rely on the fissure block to get the kill a lot of more of the time. But it does contribute, and like the biggest thing is like offlane Earthshakers, they get absorbing and they just fissure every 30 seconds. So that
Yeah.
one does add up. But yeah, not that
I
big a
was
change.
expecting something like fissure lasts 1 second less. I think it's 8 seconds right now. Like it would be 7 seconds. I was expecting a change like that. I don't know how much the damage is gonna make a difference, but we'll see. I suppose. Do you know anything about Earth Spirit?
Yeah, I'm a Earth Spirit Picker. No, I mean I've randomed it like twice and I own
You owned?
Spirit Picker. Yeah, that
Oh,
hero's so
okay.
easy. That
Really?
hero's actually disgustingly easy.
So if it goes into captain's mode, you guys will pick it?
Well, in pubs it's really easy because like I just win my lane and I buy a Blink Dagger and I don't need to aim my spells because I have a Blink Dagger. But
Okay.
like,
It's just like me on
yeah,
Pudge. Get that blink, and I don't have to rely on the
yeah,
hooks
like
anymore. That's great.
it's like you hook them except you're just beside them instead of them being beside you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Uh, the stone remnant is now placed in front when double clicking. I guess that's just an ease of access type thing. I don't think it really
Sure.
changes too much, right?
It's nice. I like changes like that.
Yeah, they've kind of been transitioning towards making things, make a little bit more sense,
Yeah, we're
which I
becoming League of
appreciate.
Legends, right?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. 2 years ago, people were saying that. Now they're like, "Oh, this is great. We got a bounty
Yeah,
room. We can
it
fill up the bottle. Nobody cares anymore."
definitely the most ridiculous that people are saying like stuff like this is bad because it lowers the skill cap. Like there's a difference between lowering a skill cap and just making it more accessible. Because
Yeah,
like this doesn't make a pro Earth Spirit any better, but it makes a noob Earth Spirit a lot easier to play.
yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Been arguing that for years. Elder Titan, the one of the most famous forgotten heroes, if that makes sense. Echo Stomp area of effect increased by 25, and Sistral Spirit. It's actually called Astral Spirit now. I don't think that's correct. But either way, that skill mana cost has been rescaled to be 30 less at level 1, but scales at the same at level 4. The Astral Spirit attack damage per creep increased by 3 at all levels, and the natural aura sticky duration is zero point 0.5 seconds longer. So if somebody's out of range, it'll last just a little bit longer. Is this enough?
I'm not sure. I think
I think the mana cost is
maybe
the biggest deal, right, for Astral Spirit.
Echo Stomp AoE actually matters a bit.
Really? Okay.
It AoE is sort of weird because like if you increase it just a bit, sometimes it becomes really strong.
I guess technically it's almost like increasing it by 50 because you have the Astral Spirit stomp area too, right?
Yeah, I mean, because like the AoE's on both sides, right? Or
Yeah.
no, yeah, that's how it works. It's radius. I actually don't know.
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
it's not. It's not. It's not radius. It's just the entire thing. What am I thinking? Like, how could it be 1,000?
25 for each, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, I guess in what you're saying is correct. Not what I was saying. It matters because they lowered Echo Stomp's cast time to like 1.6 or something. I don't remember.
Hmm.
So like a lot of the times with that spell, they just barely dodge it. But 25 can help you hit it, and that spell, if you hit it, is hugely impactful.
Okay.
The third one, the damage doubling at level 1 and just going up 3 each level is it matters quite a bit because one of the ways that you can run offlaners that can't block creeps like Earthshaker, Tuskar, Clockwork is you dual lane them. But right now ET's not good in dual lanes because it's not really tanky and he doesn't do enough damage or help enough in the lane. But if you can get an extra like let's say you hit 4 creeps and you're radiant, you hit the 3 creeps on the hard count. Getting 7 creeps, you're getting extra 21 damage. Like that really helps in the lane.
Hmm. Still an
So that
offlaner?
matters. Uh maybe. I mean, I'm sure Bubba will message me saying it, but like he's wrong, so probably offlane.
Nice. All right, looking forward to not seeing that hero then. Enchantress. Nature's Attendance Wisp increased by 1 at all levels, and the Impetus is no longer a unique attack modifier. I was thinking about this. I'm like, what cool things can you add? And things like Deso don't make any sense because it's pure damage. I was thinking Lifesteal. Would that
Lifesteal
work?
doesn't steal off the Impetus damage though. But Mask of Mantis is good regardless. So
Oh, it doesn't steal
I
off
think
it. Okay.
Skady's good because you're anti BKB.
Ooh,
You
that's
hit through
true.
BKB
Yeah,
and then you slow them and then you
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
but it's expensive. It just doesn't farm. I don't think the hero needed a buff in this way. I think they should have buffed her jungling. She's terrible in the jungle.
Yeah, junglers seem to be less and less relevant in a lot of ways. And you jungle quite a
It's
bit too. I mean, you have to find unique ways to jungle, like freaking your Keeper of the Light for God's sake. Like that is not
yeah,
normal.
I have some pretty clowny junk. Like I had in before Reborn, I had my friends, I guess I should say, had a pretty fast anti-mage jungle. You can still do it in Reborn, but it's a bit slower and you need more mana. So
Anti-mage jungle.
yeah, like 14-minute battle free.
Really? That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it was pretty good. Like it's better than like I don't know, like 5Ks just hitting.
Huh. That's interesting.
This makes Enchantress even stronger than offlane, especially at like level 3. You have like a 33% or yeah, your heal's 33% better compared to before level 1.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I think that heal is actually, if you can get it off, I mean, obviously it's a duration type thing, but it heals a ridiculous amount.
It does, but it's sort of a crappy heal because it's like 40-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's
But
not it's
yeah,
not as consistent
like
as
as far as
Shen.
heals go, it's pretty bad. Other than in the laning phase, like compared to like something like Dazzle or Omnite or whatever.
All right, one of your heroes, Enigma. Midnight Pulse cast time reduced by zero point 0.1. The Midnight Pulse area effect reduced by 50, and the black hole radius increased by 20 to be 420 YOLO.
Is it?
Is this
Um,
a significant change
it's
or?
it's relevant because the only way I think the AoE's relevant. Okay, well, other than like if you barely missed them before you hit them now, is like if you blink on top of someone and you blink in the middle and you cast black hole on yourself, it's higher than all the AoE spells now. So like they can't hit
Oh,
you with a
okay.
centaur stomp. But
Yeah,
like
okay.
you could already sort of do that before.
Well,
So I
Centaur
don't know how
Stomp,
relevant this is.
that's
Centaur's like 350, so that doesn't count.
yeah. But no,
Like
I see what you're saying.
some other
That's
spells,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I don't think it's that relevant. I think it's definitely a buff to Enigma, but overall, but not like you know,
It doesn't
Dynamite
catapult him back
black hole
into
700 radius, you know.
global range. I mean, have you played Dota? Is it Dota WTF
Dodo
or
Imba?
Imba? Yeah, Dota Imba.
I have not, but I've heard good things.
I I can't remember what Enigma's black hole does. Somebody told me it was global. I don't know if that's actually true, but
Of
that
course
was
it
pretty
would
funny.
be.
All right, Gyrocopter. Rocket barrage damage per rocket reduced by 1! And the call down slow no longer pierces spell immunity. The actual damage reduced, as it's showing in this question mark thingy, is 30 at level 1.
I mean, it's a 12.5% damage decrease at level 1, which matters because he's strong at level 1 engagement,
Hmm.
and now he's 12.5% less strong in level 1
I
engagement.
can't remember if they fixed this or not. His cast point on this, is it just 0?
It's 0. They changed it to 0.
That's the biggest thing about this hero, is that you don't have to stop moving to
Sure.
hit
It's
Q.
like the edict. When they changed edict about that, edict was so imba on last track.
They put that back
Um,
though, right?
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Thank God. Call
Imagine
down.
Lesh with Diabolic Edict like it was.
Yeah, you already don't know what spell to take on the hero because they're all so good.
Yeah,
Like, what would you do? Like that
that's
hero's just
true.
like, I don't know what I can do because I have too many options. Yeah. Call down not piercing spell immunity is actually a pretty big nerf. Uh, like the second hit in particular, if you hit that on someone's BKB, their BKB was basically over. They're just slowed by I don't know. 10?
The slow on the second rocket is more than the first, but the damage is less, right?
Correct.
Okay,
But like when they're BKB, there's no damage anyways, so the second one hurts a lot if you hit them with
right.
like in terms of slow.
Okay.
But that's not negligible. It's a pretty big nerf to Gyro, but I still think Gyro's a strong hero.
Yeah, I agree.
When
Huskar.
he's
Oh, go ahead. No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, when he's strong, uh, the magic resistance doesn't like he's strong because he can fight early, and people don't have magic immunity then. And late game, he's strong because he does damage to everyone. So it hurts, but not that much.
Yeah, he's one of the most versatile carries in the game by far.
Correct.
Huskar. Blood or Berserker's Blood magic resistance per stack reduced by 1 at all levels. I don't know the math behind this. Like, what's the max? What was the max before and the max now of his magic resistance? It was like 90 something, I think.
Yeah, 90 something.
And
I
now
have no
it's
idea.
like a lower 90 something. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Like
Oscar Wiki. I bet it won't tell me.
it's okay. We can still
Uh,
speculate.
Wow, they already changed it.
Really?
Like it's already changed on the wiki to 3456. So now the max is 88.
88. So it was 90 something. Now it's 88. Okay.
Yeah, I think before it's like 91.
No, it would be more than
No, it's
91.
more than that, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Wouldn't it be? How many stacks can you theoretically get? Is it 7? If I'm remembering.
14.
Oh, okay, double 14. Okay. My math is terrible. I'm not even gonna try.
It's because like, yeah, I don't even know how it works.
Okay. Well, he still can take a lot of magic damage, just not quite as much. Okay. So this is a nerf from a hero that we don't really see that much, but people consider pretty strong in the right lineups, which I would definitely agree
He
with.
that hero ruins the game. Like
Yeah.
he I hate that hero so much. I think there's like hate for Lashak, hate for Storm, and the third one is Hotscar,
Really?
especially in pods. You
Okay.
cannot beat that hero in pods because you have someone who thinks they're really good, but all they do is last pick Hotscar. Really, congratulations. Like,
I think the biggest thing about this hero that made him OP in your mind, I'm sure as well, is Solar Crest. Honestly, that
sure.
item is and Guardian Greaves both together have made this hero like he was shit before those items. Now he's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna have a little less amazingness. Okay, Invoker. This one's interesting. So intelligence growth increased by zero point 0.8, which is huge. Alacrity speed / damage bonus increased from 20 to 80 to 30 to 90, so 10 at all levels. Aghanim Scepter now adds 1 level to the stats powered by Quaswex and Exhort on all invoked spells, and max level Deafening Blast now retains its normal. This one's just a ease of access thing. It's you
Yeah.
target it like you used to, but it still has the same effect as it's had in the last patch.
The one game I played of Invoker in the past like whatever months, I hit level 25, or I was like level 23 because I didn't even take Invoke level, so I could take Deafening Blast faster because that's all I wanted to do. I tried to cast. I was like clicking it to pre-cast on someone, and
Yeah.
I just used it, and then
Yeah.
like I was
It's
just so sad.
it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but like if you're playing the game the exact same way, right? You're used to clicking on the
It's
ground,
like
and it just suddenly
it's
changes.
yeah, because like the entire game you click on the ground,
Yeah.
and then you get this thing, and then you click it, and it's just over. So it's a decent
All
buff to
right. What about
Invoker.
the other stuff?
I think Alacrity matters because like especially if you're going Exort Invoker, that means your Alacrity, your Wex is level 1, and you're getting like 50% more relative attack speed,
Hmm.
which matters because you're low attack speed, high damage. But I don't think the int growth is big. Like at level 10 you get 8, or level 11 I guess you get 8 more int. It's okay, but I don't think Invoker's that strong. I guess Eggs is good on him now.
He's a fun hero to watch. I think from like a spectator standpoint, this is a hero that a lot of people want to see back in the fray because
Is
although
he?
he was kind of pigeonholed into just doing one, like he wasn't. What was it? Quas Wex was the most popular. Like I would, in a
Like,
perfect world, both builds would be viable, right?
sure. I feel like at TI2 that hero wasn't fun to watch though, because like he pressed Tornado and EMP and then no one had mana
Well,
and
that
fight was
yeah.
over.
So the Exort build is probably a little bit more fun to watch with the
Okay,
Sunstrikes
because
going
like
on.
Solar Strike,
Yeah,
Pupio. Okay.
but I'm a
But that
little
one's like
surprised he wasn't
just
picked for like base defending at least with the Tornado EMP.
yeah, it's not even that good to be honest. Like
Really?
current stage, because it's 25-second cooldown and like Lina Nuke is like 8 seconds. So
Well, if you bring up Lena and Lesh, of course, then a little bit
Lashak Nuke is
underpowered.
4 seconds. Rawful.
Yeah, force get
Rawful.
freaking Octarine, and then it's what 3?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, but like it's hard to it's very abusable that you both your spells are 25-second cooldown, and then after you use them you only get one extra spell. So if you miss them, then you have one spell. You're a hero with one spell and weak weight.
Right. Okay. Yakiro, dual breath. Fiery wave now moves at the same speed as its icy wave, so at 1050. Dual breath damage increased by 4. Okay, just to make it even number. Somebody has OCD at Valve. Ice path
Well,
range increased by 100.
it lasts 5 seconds, so really they're increasing it by 20.
Oh,
Oh.
this hero. Where the hell did this hero go? This is
They
went offlaner for a while, and
nerfed Tower Gold.
yeah, they nerfed Tower Gold. They did
Tower
something
Breath.
else with the hero, though, didn't they?
Yeah, Liquid Fire from 30 damage to 24 at level 4.
Oh, well, I'm thinking about even farther, where they change it to damage over time, right, instead of a static amount or a fixed amount
On what?
on dual breath, right?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? It used to be a fixed amount of damage.
Plus DOT.
plus a,
Like it,
oh
it
yeah,
always
yeah.
had a DOT, but before
But
it's
now it's
fixed
just
amount plus a
DOT.
DOT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah, you're
right.
right. All right. Does this change anything?
It's a slight buff to a hero.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, I think you could pick the hero before already. Like when I say this, like I think you can pick the hero. Like in this patch, you can pick most heroes in the lineup and you can run them. They just aren't always the most optimal.
Right.
But like if you have a set strat for Jakiro, like he's a hero you can have a set strat for. Like he can harass the enemy carry if you pressure them early and stuff like that. It's still fine.
Okay. Juggernaut Blade Fury damage increased. Very nice. I mean, this is a skill that people leave at level 1. Although lately I've been seeing people leave it at level 2, in which they'll get 5 more damage now. Uh, I don't know what's happened. I miss my old Juggernaut, like not the right-clicky forget about Blade Fury. I miss the Blade Fury Max build, where you
Yeah,
get lane kills
it's
over and over.
when I first started playing Dota, the scariest lane in the game was Juggernaut Crystal Maiden.
Yes, absolutely. That was
And that
super
was because
scary.
Juggernaut would spin at you. But as I've played Dota, I don't know if it's like some sort of power creep, but this Juggernaut starts spinning on me in lane, and I just hit him back, and he dies. So I don't know what it is,
That's
but
because they're leaving at level 1, for God's sake.
my favorite, like, it wasn't a meme yet because memes didn't exist. But my favorite thing in Dota
Memes did
1
not
was
exist
like
back then.
Magic community or if Juggernaut spinning, he thinks he's invincible.
Yeah.
So like me and my friends, like he was like enemy Juggernauts and pubs and like Dota catch stuff, they always spin into like 4 of our heroes and we just right click them down. And we'd be like magic community equals invincibility or like invisibility equals invincibility and you just kill people who like did that.
Man, you guys were the real meme makers back then. You guys probably started memes. You invented them.
Probably.
But
We're
yeah,
like
I completely agree. I mean,
we're
this
ahead
doesn't
of the
change a whole
meme
lot,
curve.
but absolutely. I mean, do people, are they going to level up Blade Fury or is it going to be the same?
I
Garbage
think
every
Blade Fury
single
is pretty good to max.
one? Okay, good. I like to hear that. I really do.
It's you can go face drums and fight with Blade Fury. It's pretty strong.
All right, one of your favorite heroes, we brought it up earlier. Keeper, actually, I don't know if it's one of your favorite heroes. You play it, but I remember Universe saying he hates Darkseer, even though he was known for Darkseer back then. Is this a hero you actually like, first and foremost?
Yeah, he's alright.
All right.
It's yeah, he's a good hero. In terms of how much I like playing him, I don't know. I like jungling him. It's really fun because you get like a 11-minute eggs.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. It's pretty disgusting. But anyway, Chakra Magic Spell cooldown reduction increased. So 5 seconds at level 4. You get free spells here. So what's some free spell? Like Crypt Swarm, we
Ember
talked
Slight.
about Lesh. What's that?
Ember Slight.
Sleight of Fist, that's true. Well, that's 6 seconds, right?
Yeah, but you got like
We
it
have
takes
1 second to
like
use it.
if you're hitting 5 targets, then it takes 1 second to cast anyways.
Yeah.
So you get it right away.
All right, so do you like this? Does it keep you playing?
It's actually the biggest buff to his level 1 chakra. Because if you lane in with something that's low cooldown, like a bristleback, you get 2 close rates right away.
Oh, that's, yeah, that's dirty.
So that adds actually quite a big buff to him. I don't think Caudle needed a buff. I think that just hadn't really
Nobody else
found his
plays him
place
but
in
you.
meta.
Of course he needs a buff.
Puppy plays him, and like he didn't need this buff, I should say.
Okay. What would you buff for him then?
I think him being like 14 base strength is a bit too low. You can't lane him. You can't. He used to be good in tri lanes, but now he gets hit by one spell and he's
Well,
dead.
he's an old man. Like, what do you expect? Well,
Yeah,
he is
but like,
Gandalf, though. You would expect him to be a little bit more durable, perhaps. Or maybe his horse should take a beating. Like, his
Ooh.
horse can take some damage, right? Although it's like a unicorn. That thing's got nothing. Come on. I don't know. All right, moving on. Kunkka, or as the real Kunkka would tell me, Kunkka. He would actually castrate me for pronouncing it incorrectly. Tidebringer
is that how you
damage.
say it?
It's Kunkka. As much as I hate to say it, it is Kunkka.
Kunkka.
Yeah. I
Why would
actually
he spell like it like that if he wants it said like that?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell
What
you,
a
man.
silly man.
I've told him this many a time, but I don't know. Anywho, Tidebringer damage increased by 5 at all levels. X marks the spot catch range rescaled to be a little bit higher and to be a little bit more even in numbers for that OCD person at Valve. X marks the spot cooldown rescaled to be a little bit with a cooldown. Okay, it went up actually at pretty much all levels except for level 4, and Ghost Ship cast point reduced a bit. I would love to see this hero, Curtis.
Hero's good.
So X marks, if you use it on an ally, it has 100% uptime, right? Technically.
Correct.
Because it's up to 8 seconds you can have
So there's these pubs we were playing against, and they just ran like Kunkka Storm, and like you X the storm and he just balls and he kills. It's not even kills one of the supports because it's a storm, right? He just kills any one of our heroes.
Yeah.
And then they bring him back, and then they had a call to recall him in the fountain and shit with the next X.
God, that's so cancerous. My lord.
Like that was, and then they had a call to storm Kunkka, so we couldn't break base, right? So we're just like, that was the worst game of Dota I've ever played.
Ever. My goodness.
Ever. Like they can have Last Track like any other combo, and it wouldn't have been as bad as that game.
Okay. All right, so Curtis is a real fan of Kunkka, apparently.
I think he's a support hero. I think he's decent. It's just his laning phase is sort of questionable.
Yeah, I
as
remember he
support.
was picked a lot by Chuan. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
how long ago that was, but
we picked him a bit on EG. It was more in like scrims and stuff, but we had a lot of success with the hero, and then we just never ended up picking him because we felt like our lane support had to be a bit stronger. I guess we want to secure lanes more.
yeah.
But if there's ever like a time where you can pick that hero, like Ghost Ship is a game-changing spell.
Absolutely. And it's not, I keep telling people this, although I guess nowadays it's probably common knowledge, but the buff is what makes the ship. It's not hitting it, per se.
I mean, honestly, it sort of used to be like that, and it's still like that, but it's also like 400 damage at level 1 now because they keep buffing it. So
yeah,
it's
how
both
many
now.
how many patches in a row did they buff that? That was
Yeah, I mean, it used to be like 200 or something,
Yeah.
and now it's 400.
I mean,
so.
even if it was 200, people like I don't think that makes or breaks the hero. Like that's just a
Sure.
luxury, if anything.
Yeah,